Yes, work together. If we cannot work together, then we'll just complain to each other, and our community will complain, saying that our members are not doing anything to us. Yes, try work together as a team. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I propose it is better for us, since we have to finish this in 3 or 4 sessions, to divide into pages. I think it's about 5 pages for one session to be consumed. That is my first proposal. Secondly, in page 2 and 3, Governor mentioned about the relationship between the executive and the assembly. Unless these two bodies put together and have a strong bond, then there's no way that we can move forward. Because it is a must that these two bodies work together. In the same address, Governor mentioned about the executive as the implementing body, and then the assembly as the oversight body. Mostly about the implementation of the project, because most of the time people are complaining that certain project has not been done, or even the one which has been done, the schedule work, which is not benefiting our community at the end. The reason why we put that big money in a certain project, so that it will help our community at the end. And that mostly lies on the head of this assembly, because they are the oversighting body, that we make sure the identified project in any ward can be the one proposed by the community, can be the flagship project under the department, and it must be completed and benefit our people at the end. So in that case, we must have a strong bond between the assembly and the executive. Thank you.
Daniela.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable members, congratulations once again to this House, specially elected, of course, and the elected members. Thank you. So, as per this speech of the governor yesterday, I want to give my small comment in the issue of the Loyangalani. Although my elected is here, we'll give more, but let me just give what I can give. In Loyangalani, there is a bit of 100 million that was there, but funny enough, the factory is submerged by water. So remember, next time it's just good to have good visibility before we do things. We can waste money without knowing that we're wasting money. And for the cold rooms, it's a very good thing the governor has done, but sometimes let our people be told what's the meaning of cold room. During campaigns, we were using the cold room for a lot of community to have our sodas to be cold. So next time, let's have good way of using things, also our people to be told the right thing of doing things. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Mojo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I raise on point of order. Order numbers 16 and order 152 over the composition of House Business Committee. As a Kenya Kwanza team, the composition which has been presented into the House, I want to be on record. It has not been agreed by the members, and I don't know how your office came up with the leader of minority, minority whip, and the leaders that are here, because we never deliberated as a team. So I need your indulgence over in this matter, that Kenya Kwanza sort out our house in order, so that the composition of this committee be properly constituted as agreed by the members. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Ojo. The order you are talking about, it was just there as a notice. It will be deliberated next time. Your point of order is taken. Honorable Kano.
I'm loud enough. Mr. Speaker, before I proceed to contribute to the speech, okay, I don't want to go deep into the question that I don't remember. That was an deliberated meeting with some yeah. I hope I'm loud enough. There's no need of disturbing myself. All members are listening.
For the record. Honorable, for the record.
Mr. Speaker, on the point of order that was being raised by the honorable member for Land, just want to correct him. He is new, or he forgot it very fast. That it is good to learn from the elder brothers and sisters. And it is good to have decorum. And it is good people to be put down in the line of the party. I want to be on record that we have deliberated, discussed, and agreed upon. We never wanted to be down the chest over the same. And that is we sorted out amicably and solved. And there's no issue. And you are the witness when we presented the issue of the committees in the whole and Sun and Rock. All the committees, all the members who are here right now, and on that material they were there and witness what we are saying. The UDA team only says they have one issue that have not solved. And even that one we have sorted it out, even then, but we never wanted to argue. That is one. Even on that material, Mr. Speaker, you are the witness, and the office is the witness of the County Assembly of Marsabit. Already then I have the letter that I was being appointed, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, some of us, not only being the senior members of this house, but the owners of the party calls we campaign for them. We are not. We didn't enter through the back doors, Mr. Speaker. Who said things on the surface of the lip, Mr. Speaker? I want us to be action-based. I want us to have feeling for our people, Mr. Speaker, so that our people can get help. Then Mr. Speaker has said this, on the side of the disaster which is facing us, we are over-prepared to look at the budget. We don't want to see anything to do with MTC. We don't want to see anything with roads, because the life of the people of Marsabit is more important than another thing. But Mr. Speaker, and right before this one, I want to be on record on this one. We will never watch. We will never sit and see that the resources that are meant for saving the life and livelihood of people are being embezzled by you, Mr. Speaker. We will not allow that one to happen. We will not allow that one to happen, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is therefore that it is my humble request to this house that they have to look at this budget keenly. I am not only giving the money, Mr. Speaker. The money that we're going to be given to the people of Marsabit must be divided to the sub-counties. It has to be divided to lesser sub-county, and it is asked to be channeled to the right channel so that it will be accounted for. Any cent. If it is not done, we wanted it to be equal, Mr. Speaker. I really took this into the Mr. Speaker. I saw him saying that European unions are giving us to make roles here and there. I want to appeal to the same European Union that we are not in the middle of the road at now. We are in need of saving the life of the people of Marsabit. Let them change that money to the foods so that it will go into help our people. Look at it. Look at what the NGOs are doing, Mr. Speaker. They are giving out something small, but that thing is very efficient, very effective. I have to thank all the stakeholders of Marsabit County, the NGOs, the state actors, and non-state actors. They are giving 5,000, 6,000. Actually, if it were not them, Mr. Speaker, the life of people of Marsabit is at mess now. Mr. Speaker, having said that, I want to move from the droughts and come to water, Mr. Speaker. His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, have declared this thing as a national disaster on 20 counties. And we want to appeal not only to the county, Mr. Speaker, even to the national government, to provide us with all the water boosters, including the one of the Army, the Air Force one, the Parastato one, so that the life of the people of the pastoralists is being saved, Mr. Speaker. The governor, before we are sold to the office, I and my brother here, together with the two MPs, Professor Jandesa, huyo wako, Honorable Kuyoade, Honorable Kagagaroya, we are the one who light the light in Marsabit County. We are on recall. We advise our people without the business, without the cartels, without the entrepreneurs to meet in Dorothy. And peace prevail. We are the standards of that. Yeah. And that's how the peace prevail in Marsabit County, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, about him. About that, Mr. Speaker. My senior here, my elder brother, Dr. Masot, I've mentioned about him. We have seen so many things, Mr. Speaker. I want to be on record here today. When the COVID came, it was 2020. This house, the Second County Assembly of Marsabit, on the record, we were told to pass a budget on Friday, which is a constitution. But we managed to pass on the following Tuesday. We changed everything in the government of Marsabit County to save the life of our people, Mr. Speaker. Until today, Mr. Speaker, the only county out of 47 counties, Mr. Speaker, that doesn't have ICU. And ICU plant are not operational. It's only Marsabit County, Mr. Speaker. We passed over 1.8 billion. And if I'm wrong, there are 7 or 8 members in this house, Mr. Speaker. Until today, there's nothing like that, Mr. Speaker. These are taxpayers' money, Mr. Speaker. It must be accounted for. The expenditure of it must be checked. And the service delivery must meet the demand and the expectation of the people of Marsabit, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on education, on ECD issues, not only ECDs that this house passed, those youngsters, yesterday while I was in Sorolo, in Uran, my ward, I come to see a kid of less than a year, which was being taken to city class, is going home without anything. If I'm wrong, I don't know whether the other ones are getting, the things are getting butchers or forage for that matter, Mr. Speaker. But in my ward, nobody has ever seen even a single cup of porridge or food for the ECD students, Mr. Speaker. And there were many people's son must have fed and account for the expenditure for that matter, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on education again, Tibet, the national government, Mr. Speaker, that's a taxpayer money, Mr. Speaker. That is a money made for the people of Marsabit, Mr. Speaker. And we wanted to know it. Where it is going, Mr. Speaker. According to our animal plan, there's one time, that was 2021, September, there's a parliamentary we passed, Mr. Speaker. And the chair is the same chair today, Mr. Speaker, and I'm together with the 7 members who are here can be my witness. We were told to give LTC enough money so that it will go to the operational settlement. And we give the money needed for that, Mr. Speaker. Equally, Soro Hospital, over and above to what was being allocated to in the first budget, that is 700 million, Mr. Speaker. We have given another extra 3 million, and my witness is the all of senior members in this house, Mr. Speaker. Totaling now, it is stand at 1 million, Mr. Speaker. This expenditure must be upheld. This expenditure must be accounted for because it is the resource that will affect the people of Marsabit, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will say this. I want to finish my message, my contribution to the speech of the governor by thanking God for giving me an opportunity, by thanking God for giving my colleagues who are elected an opportunity, and by thanking God again for giving you an opportunity to be our Director Speaker of County Assembly of Marsabit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine will be a very brief one. First, I wish to congratulate each and every member of this House, whether nominated or elected. Congratulations to all of you who have been succeeded to be a member of this Assembly. I want to give very small comments on yesterday's speech by the governor. I think that was a very imbalanced speech. And literally, what the speech meant was that the governor was not prepared for matters of equitable distribution of resources, neither equality in terms of provision of development to every part of this county. And that's not the way to go as a leader. And if that is the kind of situation that we are going to face in this House, we will not and we shall not stand with the governor to see that he makes injustice on people of this county. The governor mentioned about health sector. Thanks that he inherited a sector that was vibrant and working for people of this county. But the most unfortunate part was the county health services was run down to the knees during the last 5 years. A sector that never missed money, it got the highest allocation in terms of finances, but in terms of delivery of services, it was the worst. You go to any health facility today, you will have to get drugs. Very unfortunate. KEMSA is blamed for actually not delivering drugs. How will KEMSA deliver drugs? Yet, even the previous procurements that they do on behalf of the county is not paid for. KEMSA is not getting the drugs for free also. If they are paid, there is no cost for KEMSA not to procure drugs for the county. So, it is not true that KEMSA made injustice to us by not procuring drugs, but the problem was vice versa, that the county government was unable to pay KEMSA, therefore enable it to procure drugs and deliver it on time as required. Ambulance services. When the governor came in, we had 20 working ambulances, virtually in every ward. Today there is none. Why is it so? Yet, monies were provided to ensure that ambulances work. I think we are giving almost 40 million annually. Where is the money going to drain? To me, the best way to ensure that ambulances are back and working is that money which is meant for free ambulances be removed actually. It serves no purpose. Because members of the public are still paying for ambulance services, yet we are calling it ambulances, free ambulances. On paper, yes, but in practice not. So are we actually doing justice to our people? On matters of education, Mheshimiwa Daud Tamaso, Mheshimiwa Kano mentioned this. ECDs. I don't know the last time that these people got food for kids. Money has been provided for purchase of whatever food for ECDs. Yet, I think for the last 2 years, these people have never seen a glass of porridge on table. Agriculture. They run a fish factory. I happen to be a member of Committee of Agriculture during the last term of government. And I wish whoever will be on that committee today, the first thing that you people need to do is to go to Langalani and find for it. Mheshimiwa Emojo, I think, can attest to this. What kind of factory that we are talking about? That's the time we will say that this county government did a very good job for us. Let me leave it there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first and foremost, I want to thank the party that nominates me for the second time to this great house for Marsabit County Assembly. Mr. Speaker, secondly, I want to congratulate you for the second Speaker of the third County Assembly of Marsabit. Mr. Speaker, I also want to congratulate all honorable members elected and nominated. Congratulations on my behalf. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of governor's speech, as a nominated member, but from Moyale constituency, it is of great concern that we feel left out in the governor's speech. Mr. Speaker, for example, on the drilling of boreholes, the whole of entire Moyale sub-county, except Sororo, we were left out. Only one borehole, that is Godoma, were drilled. The member for Helumanyata is totally left out. Township Ward is totally left out. Butie. Actually, in the speech, only thing we talk about is Godoma borehole. There is nothing. And by honorable members here for I'm the senior member, and I am partly from Helumanyata and partly from Godoma. And I want them to concern about that. Mr. Speaker, on the famine, Mr. Speaker, on the drought, we every single budget day we allocate money for disaster mitigation, PROPUA, and emergency, Mr. Speaker, in this house. Mr. Speaker, there is no single day the expenditure of that money has been brought to this house. We requested for 5 years. We give the money over 300 or 400 million. We don't know what it does. There's no accountability on it. And if they want us to pass the budget and give the money for famine, let them first give us the breakdown of the other 5 years, what they did with it. Because most of the works were left out on the distribution of food and water traffic. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, before I do my contribution, I'd like to get your guidance on how we are going to deliberate on the governor's speech. Or rather, there are 10 points in which the governor yesterday addressed us. If we could divide it into those sections, let's say the 3-3-3, that way we can be able to tackle the sections slowly and very slowly, than mixing all of them. Please give us that guidance first before I do the contribution. Thank you.
We shall deliberate the speech as it is, but for the coming 3 sittings, we shall divide the section so that we can have some more discussion on each section. I think I'm directing the clerk to subdivide the section, the 10 points agenda, into several clusters so that we can discuss it more for the coming 3 sitting days. Thank you.
Thank you. honorable members, I would also like to congratulate each and every one of you for this position that you have acquired to represent our people, and also take this opportunity to thank the electorates of Karige Southern Ward for having given me this opportunity to serve in the third Marsabit County Assembly. Thank also God Almighty for giving us this opportunity, all of us. Take the congratulations. So first of all, I would like to congratulate His Excellency Governor Mahmoud Ali for giving out a well-articulated, balanced speech, or rather address. The governor addressed 10 points, which include sustainability, peace, cohesion. He mentioned the drought, the details. He never forgot about the climate change, the road infrastructure, went ahead and gave 3 points on healthcare, education, water, agriculture, livestock and fisheries, physical planning and management of our land resources, and lastly, enhance people participation in the affairs of the Marsabit County. To me, being a new individual in this house, without which hand, and if indeed these projects were implemented, because I don't have anything to accuse the governor, I would like to applaud him. Of course, I believe His Excellency will not come to this house and lie that they have done, for example, 38,000 cattle or 112,000 sheep or goat or 35,000 camels, addressing in this house that he mentioned actually were lost based on an NDA data. Again, on the road infrastructure, he articulated the 378 kilometer link to all the pastoralist roads within Marsabit County. 4 kilometers in Marsabit, which is down to the standard of bitumen, 4 kilometers in Moyale town, which he indeed mentioned were 70% completed, not fully completed, but 70%. And then the issue on the funding, donor funding. To me, it's rather important to understand. You don't have an authority over funding that you don't give. This is donation. And you cannot dictate to a donor what to do with the money. Every donor has their own area of interest. It may be emergency, it may be road, it may be health. And you cannot tell a donor to change the money that's meant for road to go to emergency. You rather need to go and seek donors that are addressing emergency issues. It's good. You need to be well aware before trying to shortchange. Lastly, because I wanted to get your guidance so that I can give my deep details on the governor's address, I want us to take this thing this way. As a member of County Assembly, what is your role? I was listening to members contributing, especially the elders, into which how the government was not operating. But I look at it, we have committees. How many times did the committees which were addressed to this house ever summon the CEC or the CEO to this house? How many times? You should not just point the fingers to the governor. The governor has a structure as an executive and individuals who he works with to deliver. And it's our duty as elected members of this house to give balance, checks and balance. But we should not be using this house to set our political scores. Our duty is to ensure we run the government, we give them the checks and balance they require, we give them the support. The symbiotic relationship that the governor mentioned yesterday is governor will never work without county assembly. Neither will county assembly be in existence if there was no governor in place. So let's do our duties. Politics is over, it's time to deliver. Let us not carry the politics of 2022 going forward again. It's time now to ensure people get the requirements that they need. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For information, my official name is Ramadano. On a light note, thanks so much. I think You've had a lot of congratulations from so many people. That should be enough now. It's time to work. On another light note, but I want to thank everybody and congratulate each and every one of you for being elected or nominated. I want to address the governor's speech, Mr. Speaker. I will not give it as rosy assessment as my brother from Kargi, but I will give an honest opinion from my end. Number one, I think there are some positives which we need to take as members. The first thing is on page 4, peace and sustainability in terms of cohesion and coexistence. I think this is something we should all advocate for as elected members or as members of this assembly. We should all work very hard, in my view, to transition our people into 21st century. The last time, I think, what I wanted to say was captured really well by that last paragraph, where the governor said it was sad and embarrassing how we were the last couple of years. It's really embarrassing as a community, and as leaders, we need to transition our people into 21st century way of living, where we are talking of coexistence, we are talking of development. Unaongelea mambo ya maendeleo, sio mambo ya vita. That's one. I think the other point I wanted to make, Mr. Speaker, is on the mitigation of drought. This is something we must do as a house in the most urgent way possible to help the governor and ourselves and our community overcome this challenge. This is something we need to also look at it positively from our end, as long as the will is there from the other side. The other important issue I wanted to bring to your attention is on infrastructure. As I will not be as positive as my brother from Kargi. In fact, Marsabit County is the only county which does not have. How many constituencies in our places have even tarmac roads? Probably Sapu, one strip that passes through the town, right? And a few which was done by the previous regime. The other part is Moyale, probably because of the Kibaki road. Northern constituency has no single tarmac road other than what passes through Torbis, right? So when we talk of development in terms of road networks, this is pure gaslighting as far as I'm concerned. When you talk of upgrading again of these roads into Maram or otherwise, I can see there are some counties which are of the governor. Noto is not a sub-county, it's a constituency. It has 4 sub-counties. I come from Dukana sub-county, which is not even mentioned in the entire speech. It's either that my member was here before was really bad at his job, or Dukana County was totally neglected over the last 5 years. The next part is on health. Another embarrassment to this house if you continue in the same thread. We did last time. And to the members, all the members, as much as we respect you, remember also this state on your performance. As a house, I'm not saying as individuals. 17.5 billion for health center, my foot. There's no single dispenser in Dukana ward which has medicine. Painkillers. That's how bad the situation is. So where did 17.5 billion go? It's something we must dig and find out and find real solution to. Ambulances, probably I'm the only one which has one. And the only reason we have is because the community decided to ground it, completely. If it was available, it's probably now sold to some other place or is doing some other job, which God knows what. So, in fact, the entire health sector is a total embarrassment to this county. Go to any health institution, Kawach Hospital is dead. It was almost a sub-county hospital. Almost. Or was it? In fact, it could be. So, if you talk of health sector, whoever is in charge of health committee, my brother or sister, and that committee, you need to pull up your socks and bring that CEC here, that CEO here, and let us dig out this rot, complete rot. The only positive in terms of what was in the speech in that regard was the medical training college. If it were possible, that college should be finished and our students should be going to that college. That's a positive. The other positive is what I think the majority leader was referring to in terms of ward ambulance. I think he corrected, he said sub-county, goes per sub-county. The next item is again on health sector, KEMSA. I agree with my senior Honorable that KEMSA, even where I used to work before I came to this political arena, even where I used to work, we can only get KEMSA's drugs once you pay. What is happening in Marsabit County is you have enough pending bills for that institutions. So when the governor comes here and tells us KEMSA is not giving the money or is a monopoly, you cannot go and buy drugs from River Road. That's not possible. So you can only go to reputable institutions like KEMSA or MEDS to get drugs. But if you don't pay them, how do you expect them? They are not charitable institutions. You pay them and get your drugs. Therefore, in terms of our health sector, and my urge and my prayer to the committee in charge of this, and also try to help you as much as possible, is that you need to push for KEMSA to be paid. The governor cannot come, or any county cannot come and tell us they will buy drugs from. Those are sensitive areas. You can be sold some painkillers which are for animals. You never know. So that's not acceptable in my view. In terms of ECDs, again, in Dukana there are places where, over the campaign period, where kids are reading they are studying under trees. And I'm sure it's likewise probably in Ileret or any other place, or any other ward. That's not acceptable. The ECD teachers who are employed through tuition, actually we might be going against the labor laws. You cannot recruit somebody for a whole year and you are not making it permanent. Committee for that ECD team to be recruited fully so that they get paid. Right now they are not even getting paid, and I hear they are paid through the departments. A voucher. They are paid through a voucher or something. So this also needs to be worked on. I have no idea where these schools were built. In Dukana, there's none. Truth be told. Finally, in terms of water, I am told we have 15 underground tanks, 19 masonry tanks, 6 water pumps, and 34 boreholes, and there's none in Dukana ward. So there's total blackout in terms of resource distribution to some of these wards, and we are part of. My ward is one of those which are affected. I'm sure there are members who are keeping quiet, yet they know that they are probably affected. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to address my final point as this. In terms of municipalities, I'm glad Marsabit town was upgraded into a municipality. But remember, and we need to bring to the attention of the land committee as well. North Hall is a sub-county. Dukana, Torbi, my corners are sub-counties. Those are the sub-counties in Northern constituency. So if you are upgrading my corners, Sololo, Yangalani, and Northern, what happened to the rest? You need to upgrade equitably and equally to town status and recruit town managers and town boards for the same. Those are my comments, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Honorable Omar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. First of all, I want to thank our Almighty Lord for giving us this opportunity and taking care of us up to this particular moment. Number two, once again, I want to congratulate the honorable members of the House, including Mr. Speaker. On the address of the governor, I want to put some few comments as follows. That number one, I concur with the governor on the issue of peace that he requested us as the member of the assembly to work with the executive to ensure that peace will prevail in our county. For that matter, when we are talking of other issues, we cannot go even an inch ahead. So, if it takes us the matter of capital, we make budget for peace as the House. If it takes us the matter of the law, we pass a law to come up with a mechanism that will ensure there is peace in our county, because peace is not. I also concur with the Honorable Khadija, saying in the address of the governor, some areas were left out for those projects mentioned. For example, for my case, in Butia ward, nothing was mentioned. Even a single item was. I urge the House wards when passing projects.
I think, thank you, Mr. Speaker. My Deputy Speaker, if you check the governor's speech, the percentage of the balls, it was included ward priority and departmental priorities. Maybe if your ward, your former here or your former here not included at the ward level, I think the governor include departmental and the ward priority in his speech.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Member. Mheshimiwa Fia Jilo Jana. I don't know what was done by the former MCA because I was not there by then. I am very new in the House. But what I know is that from the address of the governor yesterday, I didn't hear anything concerning TA ward. That is just what I want to make a comment on. Another issue, some members, actually the senior members who were here before, they are talking of the passing budget and the project is itemized, and then at the end there is no implementation. For that case, I want to refer to the House again to tighten our belt in our oversight role. Also again, actually on my last point, is the issue of drought. Particularly Marsabit County needs a very quick and efficient response to drought. that or that case, the WhatsApp page, there was and almost cried, and trying to pass a message, and that is particularly from my ward. So the life of our people is in danger. People are dying, and as the Mr. Speaker just said, that the address or the speech of the governor for that case is going to be divided, or a section is going to be given to be discussed on further. I request the issue of drought is given the first priority, so that we discuss with immediate effect and respond to the life of the people. With those few remarks, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just like the rest of the speakers, I will wish to congratulate each and every person, the honorable members, the honorable speaker, who have all made to this house through the system of election. I will wish to make some few remarks on the governor's speech to the County Assembly of Marsabit. First and foremost, I would like to remind my colleagues one paramount thing here. We all took oath of office. It has nothing to do with who is your friend, who is not your friend. We all took oath. I wanted to get a copy so that I will have caught on some parts where we take an oath to serve every nature kind of persons. That means, as a member of County Assembly here, I'm obligated to think about that constituents of this county in every corner they are. I'm not just here for the people of Golbo Ward per se. All the people in this county, individually and collectively, we are the leaders. We are here not to change our lives, but to change their lives for better. That we took oath to do it. It's not about who is my friend and who is not my friend, or who is my foe. Absolutely not. Remember, we all started by saying, I swear in the name of God. It's not as simple. It's not as simple as a mere statement. It means a lot. Why am I emphasizing this? Leadership is not to make ourselves, our lives, and the lives of our family better, but equally to endeavor to make the life of our people better. And that we will have done it, if it is possible, individually, without coming to this house. There's a reason why this house was made the way it should be, with all the members here, so that we can collectively do a responsibility to speak on behalf of the people of Marsabit County. When we discuss this speech, actually this is what should change the life of our people, positively or negatively. So let us remember, we are all under oath. That oath was not meant for only that day. It is meant to be guiding us for the 5 years, God willing, we will be here. Having said that, I would like to touch on a few because it can't happen exhaustively today. I would like to touch on it a bit. First of all, the governor's speech touched on cordial working relation of the arms of government. It's very paramount. It's paramount because it is not only paramount for County Assembly of Marsabit, but every institution must have people working together, so that that is when we can work for our people. And that working together should, many of them are going into poverty because of the pending bills. If pending bills would have been settled, a neighbor can get help from another neighbor in this time of need. But what if we all become paupers? You are having your money invested in a project, but payment is not forthcoming. It has costed some people lives, if I'm not wrong. You are not getting the money, you can't meet your needs, you go into stress, into depression, unless a member could inform me whether it was captured. The salaries of county employees, I'm not sure whether it was captured. It was during our interaction with electorates where employees could say, I don't know whether they exaggerated, that for the last 6 months, I have not received salary. I don't know whether it is a fact or it was a fiction, but the last budget, I was told supplementary, it was recurrent. I hope that will have settled all what was not there. It may talk, it should be talking about development that was done and that is to be done. But if pending bill is part of the liability that is on the shoulders of the county government, then governor should have touched on it as to whether or not it has been settled, and maybe just to inform us that it has been settled, or there's no employee who has not gotten his or her salary for the last 6 months. It may be a simple thing to others, but to that individual it may mean a lot. Last point I want to touch about is the health. To be honest, it is too unfortunate to find a dispensary turning into the house for birds. Even if there's no drugs, I am sure there's an employee. There's an employee who is earning salary, having been deployed in a certain health center or dispensary. At least that employee, or along the structure, that employee along the structure up to the CEC and the CEO, to notice that it won't be right for the governor to go there and see that dispensary serving as nest for birds. Those are the situation. I have visited few dispensaries. You couldn't access that dispensary and stay there for a minute, because I'm sure most of us knows what smell comes out of where birds breed. So we need to be serious. We've been elected. we are all here to represent the people, and we must represent them right, and that representation should have effect on their lives positively. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I am grateful for that opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Rabotura, and then Mr. Speaker. Continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. While I really love to do my contribution, we are getting late. Security issue, Marsabit again. I think we need to.
Honorable John, you want to say something?
Yes.
Yes, Honorable.
I said, if time allows, we are going to speak. I requested time out for us because of security issues. So you must follow that.
Honorable members, I thank you for your contribution, well articulated, comprehensive. I thank each and every one of you. My few concerns and observations on this matter, I'm directing Mr. Clark, as requested by the members, to give us guidance on the 10-point agenda, divide them into 3 clusters or 4 clusters so that we can have good time. Secondly, as Honorable Tura said, time is of essence. I'm directing the clerk to give each and every member allocate time for your contribution so that we can move forward. Having said that, the House is adjourned for tomorrow, Thursday, 2:30.